former NFL head coach Herm Edwards with his thoughts on Shedeur Sanders and the Browns quarterback competition.
I would give him some first team looks. There's no doubt about it. And Mike makes the point. When you think about Gabriel, he reminds me a lot of a guy that played there long ago named Brian Sipe. He's a pocket quarterback. He's not going to move a lot. We know Joe Flacco plays from the pocket. Shedeur gives you a dual threat. Not that he's a great runner, but he can move and he can, make plays on the run. I do believe that, he probably shouldn't have been. He should have been drafted a little bit higher than how he fell. So I think as this competition continues to go, and I said it when they drafted him, when I was on a Cleveland radio station, I think he will be the starter.
With that, let's welcome in Garrett Bush from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show in the Barbershop. G. Bush, the Brian Sipe comp with Dillon Gabriel is interesting. I think Dillon Gabriel has a much stronger arm than Sipe and maybe underrated. But it's interesting that a guy that's used to NFL and NFL quarterbacks thinks he should get first team reps.
Well, look, I think if you just break it down to a baseline, from everything I'm seeing, being out there in camp, Shedeur Sanders has done everything pretty much they've asked of him. With the reps that are given to him, he did receive some reps with the twos against the first team defense, completed 2 out of 3 passes. And obviously it's a very small sample size, but for those people who, watch Shedeur Sanders going into the, into the draft evaluation, Bernie Kosar, Drew Bledsoe, Kurt Warner, individuals like that. People, as quarterbacks see, some things that are very intriguing, accurate. One of the most accurate quarterbacks coming out of the last year draft and period. If you look at his completion percentage, he throws the ball well. And I think there's some tools there that people see that can get you excited. I think one of the things that the Browns. And I know everything's going around with this, the first team reps and the first team reps and this and this and that. I mean, the Cleveland Browns didn't do themselves any favors. I know people talk about, hey, well, are the Browns sabotaging Shedeur? They're giving them a fair shake. Well, look, I haven't seen very many coaches come out and say that there's going to be 4 quarterbacks in a quarterback battle. They branded it as the 4 quarterback battle. They could have easily came out and said, Shedeur, we drafted him in the 5th. We like what we can see from him. We just looking for continued growth, right? And left it at that. But when you say 4 quarterback competition, people is going to expect that there is a true 4 quarterback competition. And the last time I checked, if it was a quarterback competitions, you kind of have to see the person with the first unit. You kind of have to see them with the same units that the other 3 quarterbacks are in. To get a fair evaluation or to see what's apples to apples, oranges to oranges when it comes to who's better, who's performing better, and what it is. So I think sometimes yes, people are expecting them to, and people go crazy about the number 1 reps. Well, that's because they branded it as a quarterback competition. They could have put some cold water on it and say, listen, the rookies have a long way to go. And kind of put those expectations that we're going to go with the veterans, and then we'll see what happens when it happens with the rookies. But when you say 4 quarterback competition, don't be surprised when people want to see the first team reps, especially there's people out there, including myself, that think he can play a little bit. I want to see him see what he can do, and I want to see what he can do, especially against other teams. But I'm not a person who's going to, right now be like, oh, if he's not getting first team reps today, I'm gonna flip out. Here's what I will say. There's going to be an opportunity for him to play football in the preseason, and he's going to get a lot of reps in terms of these preseason games. And then, like everything else that I'm married to is, hey, you get your reps and your opportunities, go kill it. Go do what you can do. And that goes for any other quarterback. I don't think Kenny Pickett, to me, is like the earth-moving prospect, but if Kenny Pickett wants to come out there and ball out, that's what I'm gonna say. That I'm married to what happens on the field. So everybody got an opportunity, but if you want first team reps and if you want to win the quarterback competition, kill it when you get out there. And so that goes for everybody moving.